Alright, what's up yins guys? Time for another video. And I'm gonna talk about some other subject matter too here, which again is a thing I regard as one of the things that are the height of intellectual laziness and as well as physical laziness. People who glorify and worship philosophies of Aleister Crowley. Like, why in the hell would you give a flying rat's ass about worshiping a dead loser who squandered daddy's money? And I got a cartoon picture in my head of what if Aleister Crowley's father was able to come back to dead, or after Aleister Crowley died he met his father, or while he was still alive, what if he come back from the dead, from the grave, and turned him over his knee and spanked his ass vigorously for a solid 40 days and 40 nights? Or maybe if Aleister Crowley died, maybe he had met his father somehow. For the sake of cartoon humor, you think after the guy died, you think he would have met his father in an afterlife where his father would turn him over in his knee and spank him vigorously, a belt across the buttocks, for a good 40 days and 40 nights. That would be damn hilarious. I don't know, it could happen, but yeah. It's like, what the hell? Yeah, say you're living with mommy and daddy, whatever age you are. Say whether you're a teenager or say if you're in your 20s pushing 30s, and still in a room, have a computer in a room in mommy and daddy's house, or in the basement or the attic or wherever you have your room, work some shit job. You think the boss in some shit job like working at a Subway or at a Walmart has any respect for you or has any fear of you? Knowing one way or another if you worship the philosophies of Aleister Crowley, you think he thinks that you have any spiritual power or occultic power? Yeah, where does the empowerment come from, right? I mean, if you're living with mommy and daddy in mommy and daddy's house, you're rebelling against mommy and daddy. Maybe some of your mommy and daddies go to church. Go to church, right, and put on their look and dress or whatever. Then at home they're a totally different person and scream and swear and chain smoke. Or if they don't scream and swear and chain smoke, say they're Bible thumper and you're rebelling. And yeah, you're going to rebel against them by believing in that total bullshit just because your little friends on social media said so. And I say that because, yeah, social media has a tendency to do that. Rebel against one thing, but kiss the ass another, follow along with another, like an idiot. Yeah, worship a dead loser, and while you're living with mommy and daddy in mommy and dad's house and still in a room, especially if you're a certain age, how does this bullshit empower you? Say you're living a number of years believing in that bullshit, right, to rebel against mommy and daddy, and say for a number of years, during that number of years, has anything changed? Has anything changed for you physically or financially, or boost any self-esteem of any kind? Does anybody have any respect for you or fear of you? Yeah, I like the Ozzy Osbourne song. Remember that one from the Ultimate Sin album? Loser, I'm a secret loser. Fighting a losing battle, pretending to win, pretending to hold the unknown, pretending to sin. I wonder if Ozzy ought to make a follow-up song about now, along with that, based on that song, but people... It's not that make a song that you're a not so secret loser. That yeah, everybody knows damn well, not really a secret loser, an obvious loser that's not really fooling anybody and not giving you no respect. No respect from your enemies, and the people you rebel against, the ones you rebel against or whatever. whether it's the Bible thumpers, they have any respect or fear of you? No. Yeah, do you appear like you have any powers of any kind? No. Just a bunch of trying not to laugh here. Fakery. Yeah. Yeah, most of the occult philosophies that came from this dead loser is stuff that don't work, never did work. A bunch of lies. I mean, you can argue whether it's a Bible thumper watching or a humanist slash atheist or whatever watching. And I'd emphasize, like, what an atheist that don't believe in no entity, don't believe in no witchcraft or demons, let alone angels, right? I'd argue on their side that yes, you can bring something in your house. Say it's not an entity. There's that phenomenon or syndrome that people get. I think you can actually get it. I think in the psychological community, a syndrome where the person with it will actually see things that are haunting them. There's like a scientific and psychological explanation that people do get a delusion that they used to end up in mental hospitals. I mean, well, say if you don't believe in demon possessions or angels, I'm telling you, you can argue that there's something real that you can invite into yourself, whether you believe in any angels or demons exist or not. Absolutely, you do the wrong things, and you fill yourself with the wrong things because you reap what you sow. You become what you take in. If you take in garbage, you're going to get garbage in return. You take in something that empowers you, you're going to get that in return. You take in fakery and foolery, then you're going to look like you're a fool, pretty much. I mean, yeah, anybody can sit in mommy and daddy's house and take on some smug philosophy, but what does it do does it do anything, or has it done anything to gain you anything financially, any kind of way, or physically improve or better yourself any kind of way? No. There's a lot of stuff that I practice on my channel that I pretty much don't force it on anybody else, but there is a philosophical and metaphysical aspect of it that I kind of don't talk very much about, but an aspect of it that some of the radical Christians on YouTube that hate, like anything that you do to strengthen yourselves from the core is demonic and all that total bullshit that they spew over there that ain't no better, you know what I mean? Yeah, you're gonna rebel against the YouTube Christians that preach against some of that stuff. But anyway, some of them that I rebel against myself, you can argue, if you got this far in this video, you can argue that some of the Christians that I talk about now that don't believe in strengthening or bettering yourself, anything that looks like yoga, it's demonic or whatever. And I understand their thing about, well, yeah, if you're worshiping some other kind of whatever, but they take it to another way and all that. And I've talked about before those ones that they want everybody to be weak and not empowered. And then there's the other Christians that are physically fit, which the far left, the far political radical left, believe that if you're a Christian or anything else and you're too proud of yourself for picking up 5 pounds off the ground and being too proud of it, you must be a militant, a radical, and you must believe in the bear of arms. You must believe in the right to bear arms, and you must be one of them radical gun toters, whether you talk about the right to bear arms or not. Yeah, you got this far in this video too. Yeah, the Christians out there, you got the better ones. You got the You know, when I talk, some people talk about regressive of liberals, the ones that are instead of bringing everybody up to the same level and uplifting people, they want everybody down. Equality extremism. There's actually, I talk about a radical conservative too. They talk about fasting all the time, skinny little arms, stupid t-shirt and shorts, or stupid t-shirts with their little sleeves, flattering their skinny little arms and legs and cargo pants. Or you get the physically fit Christians that have more sense, right? And you know, the physically fit Christian is the one that gets accused of, yeah, he must have a lot of guns. Yeah, he's too proud of himself for lifting 5 pounds off the ground. Yeah, he must be a psychotic. He must be a radical, militant, far right lunatic or whatever the hell. Yeah, I love to sarcastically talk about those too. But anyway, my point, if you got this far in this video too, I talked about the people that uh, lump all Christians together and think they know it all, and they have, no matter what you tell them, they have to believe one narrative. That's why they'll lump the radical far left or far right occult. Then you got occult beliefs and Christian beliefs. Everybody got their narrative, which they'll group one person together or whatever too. But according to a narrative, you know. So anyway, that's a lot of ramble off the subject, though. Yeah. To some people, you're not allowed to say, well, some Christians are like this, you know, and some Christians are like this. You got to group them all together, and yeah, there's a part of the radical right that does that too. But then, yeah, the ALEISTER Crowley crowd that rebels against rebel against the Bible thumpers. They got their one narrative too. You do anything that's empowering or anything beyond what they're doing, and debunk any. If you debunk their you debunk their, like, what, their fantasy land or whatever. Yeah, you debunk their daydream or their whole. You want to call it a bunch of words I want to associate with their fantasy land. They get real pissed off and say a bunch of typical one-liners and, well, the goofy rhetoric of say if you piss off a 7-year-old child. You know, they don't even know how to argue. They don't even know how to argue with you, right, or whatever, too. And a lot of them will, online, they'll hide behind memes, too, you know what I mean? I talked about in videos how a lot of different kind of groups of people, instead of trying to debunk anything you're saying, they hide behind memes and all that. I told the story about hide behind the meme, the douchebag of the social media douchebag of the year award. Yeah, you can hide behind that or a meme, and that gets you out of saying anything intellectual to debunk anything I'm saying, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's a little extra random jibber jabber that, yet it's relevant. It seems off the subject is relevant. Relevant in a sense that that's what the character of the character of the people that pull their shit when they get pissed off, that I say things like this critical of a particular belief or whatever. Yeah, what's worse? Yeah, I always say, what's worse, the religion or the anti-religion? Yeah, the anti-religion ends up starts out in rebellion, but it turns into a dogma itself, and the anti-religion gets worse than the religion itself in some ways. I mean, yeah, don't get me started on that. And you can barely talk about it without trying not to bust out laughing. Yeah, I mean, but